You have the Strength, the Three of Cups, Queen of Pentacles. You have the Ten of Cups, the Nine of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles, the Moon, the Two of Swords, okay, the Four of Swords, and last but not least, you have the Seven of Wands. So, okay, so what I'm seeing here for you Scorpios is that the Strength, the Three of Cups, and the Queen of Pentacles, right, is about, honestly, a lot of you Scorpios are still in a position right now where you're allowing people to still have access to you, right? Get at you. You're finding out certain things about some of the people that you were getting to know, and obviously you don't like some of the things that you're finding out. The Strength card, these people had a whole separate life while you were getting to know potentially only them or just them. These people were essentially hanging out with other people from the very beginning. And the Three of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles, and now you're just now finding out about all of this type of stuff. And of course, you Scorpios don't like to hear that. You Scorpios, are angry, or you got disdain for this person because you can't believe that this person had such a lack of self-control that the first thing that they did, right, they never stopped getting to know other people. They still trying to get to know other people, even though they were trying to get to know you. And even though you may have reached some form of length in the relationship, right, some time, you didn't really understand that, you really didn't understand that fact that these people had other people that you didn't know about. But see, here's the thing though, the Ten of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles represent, so now a lot of you Scorpios, didn't know that, but now a lot of you do know that. So now that a lot of you Scorpios know that, this means that a lot of you you didn't want to hear it at first, right? You had a problem listening to it at first because you were in denial. Now, you're definitely more open to the idea of this is what happened. And it's for a good reason, because a lot of you Scorpios are going to move past it and working towards moving past it currently, right now. The Five of Pentacles represents, because you're not going to be holding on to this. You don't want to hold on to this grudge, this dysfunction your whole life, right? To know that somebody was messing around on you the whole time and they didn't even have enough guts to tell you. That goes on either side, and so now a lot of you Scorpios are you didn't know what to do, you didn't know what to think, how to feel. But now a lot of you Scorpios are starting to calm down and realize that if a person does that type of stuff to you, it's their fault, and that, yeah, maybe you could have done something a little bit differently. But then again, too, this person was doing that from the very beginning, like I said before. So this is not necessarily like most cases where you could have brushed up on this. They don't have an excuse for cheating, but they could have brushed up. But you could have brushed up on this. No, the fact that they were doing it the whole time means it's a dysfunction that they have. They can't control themselves in that regard. So the Five of Pentacles now represents the need that a lot of you Scorpios have. It's really a necessity, because it's like you need to sit back and pay attention to how ironic things are, right? And then you have the Moon, which furthermore proves my point. The Moon is about how a lot of you Scorpios also just sitting back looking at things from panoramic view, a more patient space, because a lot of you Scorpios paying attention to how to nature, right? To how people move, and you're understanding groups of people better, right? Not on some xenophobia type stuff, but to understand what people are doing in the mystery, or in the fog, right? Or the smog of, or the smoke screen of what it is that they're trying to present themselves as, or what it is that they just tell you with their mouth. You're also paying attention to not only what it is that they say, but what they do. And you're comparing the two together to see if they match up over time. So a lot of you Scorpios, like I said, the moon represents, and you come to a real conclusion, because the moon is very significant because it represents self-reflection. The moon also represents coming to conclusions, right? Learning how to let go of things emotionally, and not, right, because you're dealing with it. So it's not about dealing with your own emotional baggage. But then the Two of Swords represents that conclusion. And the conclusion that a lot of you Scorpios come up with is, like I said, a lot of people do not practice what it is that they preach. And that is very true. A lot of people do not. So you may be tempted right now to not give love another try again. You may be tempted to not do that. The Four of Swords and the Seven of Swords, however, represents, but just know that mentality that you have, even if you Scorpios may have it now, that mentality is really not going to last. So I'm just letting you Scorpios know. If any of you have that type of mentality where you think that, you'll be able to hold on to that grudge forever, where, that's not going to work. Because you Scorpios, regardless of whether it is that y'all know it or not, regardless of whether y'all want to admit it to yourselves or not, you Scorpios love. Y'all want to be in a relationship secretly. That's the whole reason why it is that a lot of y'all are so intense, is because, if part of the reason why is because if you were in a relationship with somebody that you know that you can trust, and they check off a lot of the boxes of what it is that you want, you Scorpios would try your hardest to never let them go. Hold them and never let them go. So so to clarify some of these cards now, let's clarify the the Four of Swords. All right, so to clarify this, we have the Strength, which we already got, the Four of Wands, the Magician, and the Ace of Cups. So yeah, so jumping ahead. So the Strength card, right? To clarify the Four of Swords, the Strength card is about how you're gonna press forward anyway, even though you've had some difficulties, because we're all having difficulties. There's not a single person, no matter how rich they are, no matter how poor they are, no matter middle class, no matter how beautiful, no matter how good looking they look, that does not have love problems. Then there's no exception to that. On the planet, at some point in their life, they had some form of problems with love. It was very difficult because, what it is that they were looking for wasn't matching up. So the Four of Wands and the Magician represents, so a lot of you Scorpios understand, and the Magician represents Scorpio, right? Along with Mercury as well. So, i.e. Virgo and Gemini. So you showed up here in your own reading. So the Four of Wands and the Magician represents, so this is a situation for a lot of you Scorpios where, so you're learning how to get back on the horse, right? You're learning how to not allow something, I ain't gonna say something small, but something to really affect you for very long periods of time. Maybe that would have worked when you Scorpios were younger. You didn't have this knowledge. You didn't know what to do. Now a lot of you Scorpios do know what to do. Whenever it is that some small dents and scrapes and bruises come up, right, where you're trying to get to know somebody, you find out that they're a liar. You don't have to spend 2-3 years not talking to somebody, right? You can potentially spend 2 weeks not talking to anybody, and start talking to people again. And then the Ace of Cups represents because you see the potential of what it is that you can get.